Okay, students, we are back and we're going to take a look at the second half of our assignment on univariate measures of, continuous data. And in this, we're going to look at a large data set rather than the small data set that we entered last time. If you remember, we had these variables, or this variable with a list of student ages for community colleges, and this one we're going to have a number of variables from the World Bank. We're going to look at women and work. I did a research study on women and work when I was in graduate school. My first lesson on intersectionality, where we found that there was a very small percentage of women in almost every Muslim country. And then we found this anomaly where Indonesia happens to be the country with the highest percentage of Muslims, but had one of the highest percentages of women who were working. So it was not necessarily religion alone. It happened to be a combination of Arab culture and Islam. So anyway, we're going to look at a large data set. The variables that we're going to look at are women's literacy rate, the birth rate, the crude birth rate, which is the rate, the birth rate per 1,000 people, not just women. There's an adjusted birth rate that looks at only women between, I think, 15 and 55, and the percentage, or the number of children born. But this one is the crude birth rate. So it's per 100,000 people. And then we're going to look at the percentage of women in the agricultural sector, and also the change in the crude birth rate between 1990 and 2021. The change. Most countries went down, and a few countries went up. And on those, we want you to record the mean, the median, the mode, the variance, standard deviation, skewness, and kurtosis, along with measuring the shape of the distribution by looking at graphs and identifying outliers. Okay, so when we open our HMOV, we're going to find the data. And here we're going to open and find the data, and you'll find that under Master 1. And you will find the variables in this data set with country code, country name, and all the variables that I discussed earlier. So now we're going to go to the analysis, exploration, descriptives, and as we did last time, you'll be able to load your descriptives into the dialog box where it wants to know which variables are here to be measured, and we're going to put them all in. Now, you'll notice the default measures here. That's N missing, mean, median, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. And we want a few more things than that. So let's select the percentiles, the 25th, the 50th, and the 75th, and that'll give us the interquartile range. The 75th minus the 25th. We want the mode, skewness, and kurtosis. Standard deviation, we'll get interquartile range and just double check it. Variance, why not? And then for our plot, we're going to get the histogram, and we'll get the curve, the density curve over the histogram and the box plot. And we'll get QQ. The QQ is going to give us another picture, illustration of whether the distribution is symmetric or not. And that is all we really need. So let's look at what we have. So here are all of your measures. We have, for each one of the variables, we have the mean, median, mode, standard deviation, variance. And we can take a look at how those distributions are illustrated with our histogram, with our box plot, and with our QQ plot. Each one of these. So this one is skewed to the right. This one is skewed to the left. So the skew is always in the direction of the smaller frequencies that pull the distribution in that direction. The highest bars, just think about it this way: if you were on a skateboard, which way would you want to go? This way. And that would be skewed to the left. Negative skew. Okay, and here we identified, we checked the box that asked to identify outliers. And so we see we have outliers for this variable, which is literacy. In this case, for literacy, almost all countries had very high literacy, but there are a few that had very low literacy. And these few are labeled here. We can go and look at those and see. And you can see from the QQ plot, if that was a normal distribution, completely symmetric, these points would be on the line. Now, this one is getting closer to something that looks approximately normal. And if we got rid of some of these outliers, it would even be more. But there's ways to transform data too. And here are the outliers. Here's our interquartile range there in the blue. And you can see again, the QQ plot shows that we have something less than a normal distribution. And here again, we will look at the increase in the birth rate, the crude birth rate. And this one is closer to being normal, more symmetric, where 0 is the largest. So no change in the crude birth rate is the mode. And we'll take a closer look at that. And we have one country, case number 132, that has a very high increase in the birth rate. And you can see, because that is more of a symmetric distribution, these points lie closer to that QQ line. This is another one that is skewed to the right. And this is the crude birth rate for 2021, where this is the number of births per 1,000 in the population. And this change right here is the change in So one of the changes is the change for the birth rate change, this one. And one of these changes, the increase change, is the increase in the number of women in the workforce. So you can see the labels in your on your worksheet. So this is hopefully this will give you a hand to work through the Jamovi part of this, and then we'll ask you to provide your interpretation.